Hi, I hope you're well. A lot is going on in the world today. There's the war going on between Russia and Ukraine, and it is affecting us. It's affecting morale, it's affecting how people, it's affecting our visions and our goals in this life. And it's just good to know how to put it in the right perspective so that it doesn't hold us back in any way, so that we can continue being the best that we can be. When I look at Putin, it reminds me of Dad growing up. He was somebody like Putin, but on a smaller scale, on a family scale. There was no democracy, whatever he said goes, and sometimes you feel a little bit that it could make better choices. But that was it. When you live in an environment like that, you find that your view of the world, it can be programmed in error, because that's what you know for the first few years of your life. Sometimes some programs get embedded in your mind that are harder to clear. But with work, you can get them cleared. Like one thing, an example is that my dad decided that he wanted his children to do well in school, to study and go to university, and not just any university, Cambridge University. Apparently, his college was affiliated to Cambridge University. So playing is not something that was allowed. Playing was something that was punishable by death. I don't mean killing you literally. I mean, like the way the cartoons die and then they come back again, something like that. Like when you're reading a comic book, you only see the clouds, you're pounding, you only see clouds and hashtags and stars, and then the person resurrects on the other person, or on the other side. That's how it was with us. My dad didn't take a belt and we were never sent to the naughty chair or naughty corner or to the stairs. I wish we were, because that would have been really kind. But we survived it. My sister was different. She was never bothered about playing. She just landed in this world, a grown up, and was never playful at all. Somebody like me, I was the opposite. I had to play. I just could not function without playing. So I play secretly, but sometimes you could not play secretly. Like sometimes my brothers will play and jump over the bed, maybe from one bunk bed to another bunk bed, and playing in the bedroom. And then I'll be like, wow, that's fun. I can do that. And I'll play as well. But I'll find myself, one day I just hit the ground hard. And when I start crying, my dad's figure will appear at the door, and everybody will stand up like a meerkat saying, please do not kill me. And my firstborn brother was the one who was always beaten. Anytime I cried, he was beaten. Or sometimes, we'll be sitting down, not playing. And then I'll be bored and I'll start poking someone. I'll start probably poking my youngest brother, who is like the one I follow. And then he'll be like, no, stop it, Carolyn. I'll keep on poking him, and he'll be like, stop it. And then I'll stop poking him, but just pretend to poke him. 2 minutes later, you'll be like, whack. You'll probably whack me really hard. Then when dad appears, my dad's figure appears through the door and I'm crying. It would be like, oh, she almost. There was no word poke then, there was no Facebook, so we didn't use the word poke. It was like, she almost touched me. Anything dad could understand that you beating somebody because they almost touched you. Anyway, so I learned to survive at a very early age, to survive by being sorry and feeling guilty and remorseful. It helped them feel better. But one of the problems is that I learned to do that at an early age and I kept on doing it. And guilt is bad. It's bad for you. Guilt. Jesus said that take care of your heart because that's where issues of life flow out. If you fill your heart with guilt, you know what comes out? Your subconscious mind starts punishing you. So, and it punishes you by things like losing things, important things to you, or accidents, or burning yourself. So when your heart is filled with guilt, punishment just happens. That's just life's way of doing things. We manifest the emotions that we fill our hearts with. I know some people are warriors, or some people have anxiety because it's a way they learned to live their lives, and they've not. And sometimes it just happens automatically. You don't even realize that you're doing that, and you're filling your heart with that, and manifestation always comes out. So I lost a lot of things. I spoiled a lot of things. My family is very musical. Everybody will be playing instruments and guitars, and when I start playing, right now I'm good, but wires will just break. I don't know why. I find myself losing cardigans and pens when I went to school, and money and pocket money and things like that. It's until I grew up, that's when I realized I was filling my heart with really bad things. There comes a time when a soul goes through a dark night of the soul, where the personality that we formed growing up, the personality we formed in error from some of the bad programs we picked up around us, from some of the programs we developed to cope with whatever situation was given us. Yeah, we form personalities. We form people who cannot go to the next level. So sometimes the way for you to be free sometimes is to go through some oppression, some dark night of the soul, some depression. That's when your higher self says, no, we're not going with this system anymore. And then, but if you let it go, let the old man go, and start building a new program of the person you want to become, then you change, and it helps you. Some of these emotions can even make you ill if you don't deal with them right. So it is a dark time for our planet, for our world. It is a dark time. People are dying in Ukraine, and sometimes when you focus on that, you might find yourself not feeling great, and it might awaken some things that you went through in your life that needs healing and clearing. So it shouldn't be a wasted time. It should be a time of rebirth, of renewal. And last week I was just looking at everything, and I felt really depressed, feeling sorry for Ukrainians and all that. And I decided to go walk into a church, not our church, but just walked into a church that was open in our village, and I prayed, and I saw a vision of a beautiful woman who was being coronated. She had the gown, and she oil was poured on her head, and a crown was put on her head, and a scepter was given, and the orbs was given to her like a queen. And I was like, what's that about? And I felt like God was saying, people who believe in him, we are his children, because he's the king of the universe. He's crowned us to be his children and to have dominion and sovereignty over atmospheres that stifles people. Anything that oppresses people is given us power and dominion over them. It's given us power and dominion over our childhood, and that we can speak healing, we can speak courage, we can decree things, we can affirm things, and it will be established to us. Like in the Bible, in the book of Job, somewhere there it says, you shall decree a thing and it shall be established unto you, and your light will shine. So using our words, we can bring hope, we can bring peace, we can bring laughter back into our lives, we can bring dancing back, we can bring prosperity in our nations and in our families. So do not be hopeless at this time. Do not be fearful. Do not be anxious about anything. If you find yourself going through that dark night of the soul, stop for a minute and just focus on that feeling you're feeling in yourself. And then just locate it in your body. See what it really is. Is it depression? Is it anxiety? Is it bitterness? Is it guilt or shame? Just spend some time with that feeling and give it a color, give it a shape, and just release it. Or first of all, find out, when did you first have that feeling, and just look at life at that particular time. And if you need to forgive people, let go. And that's how healing starts. There is hope at the end of the tunnel. There is hope. I hope that is an encouragement to somebody. I don't always do this, but I don't know why I'm doing it today. But if today was your last day, where will you spend eternity? If you're concerned, you can always just pray a prayer, kneel down by your bed and say a prayer like, oh God, forgive me my sins. I thank you that Jesus came to die for the sins of the world. For God so loved the world that he gave his son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. I believe. Save me right now. May I end up in a good place. And that's it. You don't need to do other religious activities, it doesn't have to be in a church. It doesn't have to be big. Just a little prayer in your heart, provided you believe, can save you. If you're scared about if the world was to end today, or if you had to find your death today, where will you spend eternity? You can just say that simple prayer and you will be saved. That's all you need to do. I hope that's helpful to someone. I hope that removes one more worry, and live in faith, live with purpose. And God bless. Thank you.